Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. It's Glenn McCormick here, and
Dan Desolé with Justin Haver and Associates of Remax First. How are you doing, Glenn?
I'm doing great. And how are you doing?
I'm well, thank you. Happy 2021.
Yes, very happy 2021. Happy to put 2020 behind us. There's been, a mixture of good and bad in that year. We can all agree. For a lot of people, I know it's been just all bad. We're in charge of giving you the real estate news out there, and right, it hasn't been all that bad for 2020. In fact, for all signs point to the fact that it was better than 2019, really. So, at least that last half of the year.
Yeah, it's been an interesting run here, Glenn.
Yeah,
I guess
to say the least.
Let's jump into this here.
All right.
So let's discuss the total for just all of the housing markets, all the different types of products here for the month of December 2020.
Perfect.
So let's look at total sales. So total sales, 2019, we were at 856 for all of December last year. This year, December, 1,199. So we actually had an increase of 40.07%.
Pretty good.
That's an impressive number. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Active listings, we were down. And we've been seeing that happen consistently here throughout at least the last half of this year, that sales were up and the listings were down. So active listings in December 2019, we were sitting at 4,613.
Mm-hmm.
And this December, we were sitting at 3,669. So 40% increase in sales and 20% decrease in listing. That's huge fluctuation between the two there.
Absolutely, and both going in the right directions. We don't want a ton of inventory. Just makes buyers less interested, and floods the market. And we do want a lot of sales.
Yes, we do, absolutely. And average price, it didn't really affect us at all. We were pretty much the exact same. So that was us for the total of everything. Now, when we break it down, it gets a little more interesting here. We're seeing the same trends all the way across all the different products here, though, for 2019. So let's look at detached homes to begin with. So standalone homes, no party walls, nothing attached to them. Total sales, December 2019, 503 in total. Mm-hmm. Total sales for 2020, 717. So once again, 42.54% increase. Following the same path here, we're at with active listings. So 2019, we were sitting at 2,259, 2020, 1,559. So 30% decrease in listings.
Mm-hmm.
But once again, we're eating through that inventory.
Yeah.
Average price, once again, didn't really affect that at all. Mm-hmm. The things that this did affect, we see all the way across the board, is days on market. So just for an example, looking at detached, 65 days on market 2019 and 53 in 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. Right.
People are picking them up faster. So
they are. Yes. Row and townhouse. So that's our row homes or townhomes. Total sales for 2019, 127, and December 2020, 169. Mm-hmm. 33% increase. And active listings, 685 in 2019, 611 active listings in 2020. So that's a 10% decrease. And average price, there was actually a little bit of a change in that one. Went from 294,086 to 311,100. So a 5.79% increase in pricing on the row and townhouse for 2019.
Great.
Semi-detached. So that's our half duplex. That is our one party wall in between, our nice new infills that there's two of them on the same lot, et cetera, et cetera. Total sales, 92 in 2019, 128 in 2020, 39.13% change. Okay. Active listings, let's keep going with that conversation of it all being the exact same way across the board. 517 active listings in 2019. 2020 was 324, so decreased by 37.33%.
Mm-hmm.
And average price decreased by 5%. So not a huge change there, but still a little bit of a change.
Yeah.
And once again, days on market decreased, not by a lot, by 5,
mm-hmm.
but there was still that decrease, and that's showing that reading through that inventory, things are selling things are selling faster. And
Yeah.
like I said, we've been seeing that for the past, what, 6 months here?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it's interesting to see just the difference between like detached, row, townhouse, semi-detached. It's kind of up and down in there, but they're all generally close around that 40% higher in sales for December. Let's definitely touch on apartments, which is curiously enough also around 40% higher in number of sales for December versus 2019's December. We had 134 sales in December 2019 of apartments and 185 in last month. So yeah, that's a good sign for the apartment sector because they've been punished and beat up the most. Active number of listings is pretty much the same. Last year there was 1,152, and last month there was 1,175. Last year was last month. I'm gonna mess that up a few times yet. December 2019 was 1,152, and December 2020 was 1,175. So just the 2% difference there. Now here's the big thing, because we talked about this before starting our recording, and Dan, I surmised, we're getting a lot more sales of apartments. Why is that all of a sudden? I thought, maybe it has something to do with the fact that because the prices have been pushed so low, that it finally woke up buyers to say like, wow, you know what? Some of these are actually pretty good deals. I could buy this, rent it out even, and just hold on to it as an investment property. You've seen that already yourself, right?
Yes, I have.
A couple sales recently. And so sure enough, looking into the average sale price last year again. December 2019, we were at 284,000. Let's call it 285,000 average sale price, and for December 2020, 245,449. So it's a difference of 13, almost 14% down. Quite significant push down in prices there. And Dan, sorry, you were going to say something about?
Well, no, I was just going to say that, I have seen that. I've seen a couple of people who I've helped buy homes here in the past year or so reaching out and saying, hey, it's time to get a rental. Like, let's go look at condos, because they are insanely well priced right now.
Yeah. And it just goes to show that there is a bottom for all types of properties, because once you get to a certain point, any investor is going to say, I could buy this, rent it out, and I'm already making instant passive profit every month. So, or even if they are breaking even, it's still a good investment because you're going to cash out down the road, right? But yeah, I mean, on that note, I've talked to Dan about this as well. This year, we want to offer you a little bit more substance in our updates, and give you some meaningful things. Dan is experienced with investing in real estate himself, and specifically even the basement, creating a legal basement suite, and he's on his way to actually going buy the book and doing all that stuff. There's a lot of steps, and it's beyond me, so I'm going to get him to share all that with you at some point.
It's a lot of fun. I'd say that clenched teeth, Glenn.
But there's opportunity, right, for the right property, up and down, to have two separate tenants in there, done legally and correctly. Like there's definitely some opportunity there for you. Yeah, so that was apartments, and I've said it already enough till I'm blue in the face. It's all about personal space. That's why apartments have been hurt so much this year, and the detached sector is doing the opposite. People love the idea of those backyards and stuff like that. So, just to recap the year, now this is a bit fun. Originally, way back in January of 2020, we have an annual Calgary Real Estate Board forecast, and it's Anne-Marie Leary is the CREB economist, and she makes her predictions, and which is no easy feat, right? So way back before COVID-19 was a thing, at least here in the New World in Canada, she had predicted a total number of sales to be about 16,731 for the year 2020. to put that in contrast with 2019, we had 16,344 sales. So she wasn't really predicting much of a change, just a slight increase in the number of sales. And then COVID hit, and obviously changed perspectives, changed minds. And by the beginning of June, we had a forecast redo because there was thought at the time that there was going to be such an impact of COVID-19, and there was, but that the prediction, the forecast was changed to this. All of a sudden, it was sales are going to drop by 22%. And I also remember quite clearly CMHC, Canadian Mortgage Housing Corporation, predicting 18% drop in prices in the year 2020.
Yep.
Didn't happen.
Well, it was the sky is falling was the
exactly prediction. So that 22% drop in sales didn't happen, and we actually ended up with 16,152 for a grand total of a drop in sales 2020 of 1.17%, which was incredible. And when we look at the last half of March and pretty much all of April, those are real down months. We had 66% less sales in April 2020 than we did in 2019. And that really dropped our total number of sales. And if that month, I said earlier, if that month was normal, we would have easily beat 2019's total sales numbers. But then Dan said, well, what month was normal this year? Which is true, because the inflated desire for properties and purchasing detached homes and all that was also strange for the remainder of the year. Nobody expected that, certainly not our own Calgary Real Estate Board. So it'll be interesting to share next month in February what the new forecast is for 2021. All things considered, again, it was 16,731 was the forecast, the original forecast number of sales, versus 16,152 actual. So we should have just stuck with our original forecast, right? Go with your first instinct.
Yes, well, I say
a lesson in life.
when we see that forecast, take it with a grain of salt. And one thing I'd like to throw in here just before we start getting closer to wrapping it up here, Glenn, looking at January to date right now, which I know we just started, like just started here, fresh out of the gate. We're already at a 166% increase in sales for this date, January, versus last date, January.
Yeah, it's one day of sales, but that's still pretty cool.
It is still pretty cool. That's a big number.
Yeah, it was something like 16 sales versus 6 or something like that, right?
That is.
There we go. My memory's still working.
Right.
All right, Dan, time to, before we wrap up, we got to talk about, we're not going to just rely on the Calgary Real Estate Board's forecast and predictions for 2021. We're going to go with our feelings and share with you what Dan and I forecast for 2021. You want to start this off?
Are we putting bets on this? We'll
No bets.
No bets?
All bets are off. It's a feeling.
All right. So. I expect, what I'm going to say, I expect 16,500 by the end of the year. I expect that we are going to have an increase as long as we keep going in the path that we've been going here this year, aside from March and April.
Yeah.
I do kind of expect that. I mean, we're not going to see anything huge happen with the interest rates. I expect that we will see a little bit more inventory coming through. I don't expect the sales to level off much at all, though.
Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm down with that 16,500 prediction for total number of sales in 2021. I liken this to, if you're making predictions in the Stanley Cup playoffs, it's best of 7 games. The most popular kind of prediction to make is, I'm going to say is this team beats that team in 6 games. That's like the easiest, the softest kind of thing to say. 6 games. That's what 16,500 is like to me. It's the easy bet. I don't expect anything crazy to happen this year. Knock on wood.
Glenn, why? I'm
Uh,
gonna click this.
yeah, okay. I do have a wooden table, knocking on it right now. All right. So yeah, I feel like that's reasonable. We're still going to see a lot of good interest happening in sales this year. I don't see a slowing down to that. What I do see is condos will finally hit their floor, and we'll see more apartments starting to sell, which will be great for condo owners. And yeah, we need some help there. For the detached market and all that, I expect that we'll keep on going with a good number of sales and possibly even a little bit more interest. I feel like this spring could be a truly busy one. And, one of the main reasons is that investors are starting to wake up. Investors were skeptical in 2019, 2020. I'm still getting used to what year it is here. Investors were very skeptical minded in 2020, right? As were a lot of people. Where's the bottom? Investors are very careful, right? They're putting all their money into something that they expect to make a profit from. And there was just no feeling of security there for last year. That's starting to turn around. We're all starting to get a few more phone calls, people looking at investment properties in Calgary, because it's a more affordable place to buy an investment property and do that kind of stuff in than virtually any other market outside of our prairies here. There's no doubt in my mind it is a good time to invest in a property in Calgary. I'm going to say that boldly right now.
I fully agree with that, Glenn. And to, just to add some weight to that, I am the one that I'm working on legalizing right now. I will have that one fully legalized with stamp compliance this year, and I'm jumping back in and grabbing another one this year.
That's awesome, man. Yep. And I'm gonna go off your experiences to maybe do that myself, and we'll try to give you some of those kind of pointers too. So I guess we've probably rambled on long enough for this one. It's a little bit longer, but it's the beginning of a new year. Happy New Year again, everybody. Yes. All the best to you out there in this year, in all facets of life, not just real estate. So on that note, next month we'll share Krebs' forecast, the Calgary Real Estate Board, and maybe, I don't know, something else special. We'll figure it out.
Awesome.
All right. Good talking to you again, Dan, and good talking to you all out there. Until next time, take care.
Bye.